great municipality of Pateros, Washington by celebrating our 100th birthday of incorporation. Our story starts around 1885 when Lee Ives believed the mouth of the Mementos on the Columbia would be a good place to buy stock and hides. On April 27, 1896, the name Ives was established by the United States Post Office. In 1899-1900, a Spanish-American veteran that had served in the Philippines named Charles Nosler came to Ives Landing with his family. Nosler was interested in mining, was an attorney and notary public. On June 21st, 1900, Nosler renamed the community Pateros after a village he had known in the Philippines. On May 1st, 1913, Pateros was formally incorporated and Charles T. Board was elected the first mayor. In recognition of our historical event of 100 years, Pateros Metro Manila, Philippines has joined us by joint resolution in making us Sisterhood cities. In conjunction with the annual Apple Pie Jamboree Festival, the city will present a plaque and a historical item, which I will do in just a moment. But I want to state that we actually have 5 delegates that came over here from Pateros, Philippines.
I came all the way from the Philippines to your beautiful city of Pateros with a fond memory of my childhood Christmas in our town, also named Pateros. Our Christmas in Pateros will never be complete without the wonderful smell of Pateros, Washington apples.
Yeah!
And this famous brand is almost like a Christmas greeting card in the Philippines. However, our relations started not as sweet as the Washington apples. A century ago in 1899, a contingent of U.S. Army volunteers from the state of Washington and Oregon came to the Philippines. They crossed the vast expanse of the Pacific Ocean that separates our two countries. They hardly knew anything about the Philippines or where it was located in the world map. The Americans first came as allies in the Philippines when it fought and defeated the Spanish Armada in the Battle of Manila Bay on May 1, 1898. But later, the extended presence of the American troops became too long for comfort for the young Philippine Republic, which has just declared its independence on June 12, 1898. The once friendly relations turned sour and became an aggressive military action that led to a full-blown Philippine-American War by February 1899. And by March, the first contingent of American volunteers from Washington came to our town of Pateros. Unfortunately, not as friends, but as our attacking enemies. The Washington soldiers eventually overtook Pateros after a fierce and protracted battle on March 14 to 15, 1899. They captured armed men from Pateros. They immortalized this battle in some Philippine silver coins, which they brought home to America. And Charles Nosler might have been one of these Washington volunteers who surveyed the confluence of the rivers of Pasig and Pateros in the Malapat na Bato, who waited and planned how to cross the Pateros River, who rode a bangka along the Pateros River to check its condition, and set up a temporary camping post in Pateros. And surely, he would not fail to notice the multitude of ducks. Thick and cared of duck racers we call mag-iitik. Then the eggs are made into balut or fertilized duck eggs. These duck racers are called Pateros in Spanish, thus our name, as Pueblo de Pateros, or the town of duck racers. Some even wrote home that they even snatched a couple of live ducks, which became their meal, as roasted duck meat in the middle of the war. In the 1903 population survey, there were more ducks than people in Pateros. There were about 3,000 people compared to 25,000 ducks. Some Washington soldiers recorded in their personal and official records about these ducks. Later, they sent postcards of Pateros to Washington. For Charles Nosler, he brought home to Washington his memories of these ducks from Pateros. He was reminded of our town when he saw Ike's landing near the confluence of the Mementos and Columbia rivers. In 1900, Charles Nosler even renamed Ike's Landing our town after our town of Pateros. And Pateros City was officially incorporated on May 1913. That is exactly 15 years after the Battle of Manila Bay that brought our two countries together. Now, we are turning a full circle. A delegation from Pateros, Philippines, comes to Pateros, Washington. We come here, not as invaders, but as friends. We extend our hands in friendship to your beautiful community and hospitable people. We thank Charles Nosler for starting the link that has crossed the vast expanse of the Pacific Ocean and the travails of history. Any community that hits the century mark deserves a moment of admiration, more so for a place that shares our name. We are happy that Pateros and Pateros City in Washington are now twin sister cities. It is a great honor to greet our sister city Pateros. Happy 100th birthday. Mabuhay! Long live Pateros!
This is to certify that Pateros, Metro Manila, Philippines, and City of Pateros, Washington has joined as Sisterhood cities on July 20th, 2013 in recognition of City of Pateros 100-year celebration. Presenting to Mayor Joey Medina, Sisterhood City Relationships Commemorated Plaque, dated July 20th, 2013, which says, in commemoration of the Sisterhood City's relationship between Pateros, Metro Manila, Philippines, and Pateros, Washington. It has the American flag with Gail A. Howe, Mayor, Pateros, Washington, USA. The Philippine flag, Joey C. Medina, Mayor, Pateros, Metro Manila, Philippines. 1913, City of Pateros, Centennial, 2013.
Upside down. Yes, upside down.
All right, give a big hand. Come on.
divided restaurant grill plate was produced June 6, 1941.
Whoa.
This is an original Ives Hotel grill plate. The Ives Hotel was established in 1884, and in 1965 it was demolished due to the raising of the city of Pateros for the Wells Dam Lake Pateros Reservoir. This vintage Syracuse China grill plate was sold when the famous Ives Hotel was closed, and I am honored to be able to pass it on to our sisters in the Philippines.
May I present to you the view of the Pateros River. This was drawn by the famous Filipino artist Jose Honorato Lozano, born 1821, who gave us an idyllic picture of Pateros in mid-1800s. This is the earliest surviving picture of the duck racing community along the Pateros River. The picture was commissioned by a German trader named Karl Johann Caruth, which forms part of the album of 75 watercolor drawings that he gave to his future father-in-law, Don Jacobo Sobel, in 1858. The album is now in the Aliala Museum Collection, Makati City, in the Philippines. Mayor Gail, a gift from Pateros, Philippines.